All right, we are starting with our first set of PowerPoint notes. 1.1, what is tech? So go to Haiku, find the Unit 1 PowerPoint, it's in notes, download this, open it up, and split your screen with this video. We are going to be going through, you will be answering the questions on Edpuzzle as they pop up, and you'll also be filling in your set of PowerPoint notes for this. So the first lesson is all about technology, what it is, and how it affects us. So first we need to know what technology is. We talked about this very briefly, but technology is what we use every day, but we understand very little about it. People in general understand very little about it. It can be primitive or it can be complex, meaning primitive, something very simple. So we talked about a pencil as a piece of technology. It's as simple as helping us be able to write something down. Or it can be extremely complex, such as a computer with all of the microchips and processors inside, or a robot that helps a surgeon on a brain surgery or anything like that. It can be a very complex object. So technologies is humans consciously using objects to extend our natural capabilities. So we are using something and we know we're using something that's going to help us do something. We're extending our natural capabilities. We can't write something down on a piece of paper without having the tool of a pencil or a pen to help us do that. It's allowing us and using us or to help our potential to do work, resulting in artifacts or outputs. So it's always going to be an artifact. It's going to be a tool. It's going to be something that we're actually using that's helping us do that work or extend that ability. So not only does it extend our abilities, but it solves a problem. It solves a want or a need. So any product that helps solve the wants and needs of humans. So focusing on our essential needs such as food, water, and shelter. That's what we're going to focus on first. So it could be something that a piece of technology that helps us to plow a field so that we are able to grow more crops. That's helping the needs of humans with technology. But most of the time, things that we associate technology with are with the wants because it's what we want to do. You're bored at home sitting on the couch. You want to play a video game. A video game is a technology. TV is a technology. It's a want because you are bored and want to do something, and it's just helping to entertain. There's no other function for a video game besides entertaining. So if you're using it to entertain and you're wanting to do it. You don't need it, but you want to do it. The other thing is it must be man-made. If it's not man-made, what is it? Anything in nature is not man-made. So if it grows naturally from the ground, it's not man-made. If it's something that at some point a human has used their skills to build or construct, it is man-made. So technology can only be man-made. Nothing in nature is technology. That is just natural. So this is our definition of technology. We will be using this definition throughout the whole semester. This whole class is based on what technology is, how we can use it, how it can help us, and the different parts of it. So this is what you need to drill into your brain and memorize. Technology is the application of knowledge, tools, and skills to solve problems and extend human capabilities. So again, we're solving those problems and we're extending our capabilities by using tools, skills, and of course our knowledge. Technological literacy. All right, so this is a term that you will need to make sure you know what it is when we refer back to it. But it's just the ability to successfully interact with technology. So in general, if you are a literate person, it means that you're able to read and understand what you're reading. You're literate. If you're technologically literate, it means you're able to read and understand and use technology. So that's all it means. We're technologically literate, and that's what we're going to become more and more throughout this class as well. So we're able to successfully interact with technology. You're able to successfully turn on a desktop, log in, utilize the internet. But you're also able to make informed decisions about that technology. So your laptop dies, you run out of battery. You don't just throw it away because you don't know what to do with it. You know exactly what to do. You find your charger, you plug it in, and you charge your battery.
Attention students, if you ride the web shuttle bus.
So that is what making informed decisions are.
Shuttle bus.
Next,
Please report to the
how did it change our lives? So technology
Thank you.
obviously has been a huge impact in all of our lives, whether you realize it or not. So it's the influence of what that technology is. So we're going to talk about 3 different products. First, let's talk about books. So how did the following items influence the lives of the people that first used it? How did books influence lives? Well, we can talk about the information that people gained from the books. We can talk about the stories that people were able to share from the books. Now, stories did not, or information did not just die with the people that knew it. They were able to write it down and preserve that information and pass it along to people within their community for years to come, generations to come, but also outside of their community. And now knowledge is spreading wider and faster. Next, we have a light bulb. So not only just a light bulb, but electricity in general. Think about, what did people do before a light bulb? What was our source of light? The very first source of light. Okay, so the very first one was the sun. So when the sun rose, people woke up, did the work for the day. When the sun went down, people went to sleep. It was what it was. You just used your day by how much sunlight there was. Then candles were invented. The use of fire was being used. And it extended the days a little bit, but not as useful until electricity came along. Now we can extend our days until we decide to turn our days off. So electricity, we're able to have our lights on, whether it's daytime, nighttime outside, extend the days, use the hours to be able to see things. And our last piece of technology is a clock. So again, think way back to the beginning, before clocks, what did they use? Sundials. So this kind of goes along with the light bulb. So the sun is what we're using. The sun came down, created shadows on the sundial, and that's how they figured out what time of day it was, when the sun was going to go down, how much longer they had to work throughout the day. Then they were able to utilize that information and that knowledge and create clocks from it. So now we're able to keep track of time. We know when to wake up. We know when to get to school, when we leave from school, what time dinner is, what time bedtime is, everything else like that. But you also want to think what's good and what's bad about these technologies. So obviously clocks are a wonderful piece of technology, a wonderful invention, because we're able to utilize a lot of our day and we're able to schedule things and do things at exact times. But if you think on the other side of it, how has the clock acted negatively on our lives? Well, now we're run by schedules. Everything has a certain time that you have to be there, a certain time that you leave, a certain amount of time that you do things for. So it adds a lot of stress to people's lives. Now, it's an unintended effect, something that we didn't really realize was going to be there to affect our lives, but we'll get more into that later in the semester. All right, so that leads us to invention versus innovation. So these are the 2 words that you will hear throughout the whole entire semester, almost daily. So you need to know the difference. An invention is a brand new idea. It's a new concept needing to be brainstormed, created, and tested. So you never heard of it before. It's brand new. You are the only one in the world that has thought of this and is coming up with the idea. Then you have innovation, which is an improvement. It's a new product based off improving an old concept. So the iPhone 8, the iPhone 10, those are innovations. The cell phone has already been created. Way back when, that was an invention, the very first cell phone. Now we've gone through innovations of creating the flip phone, creating our smartphones, creating all of these different versions of our smartphones. Those are all innovations because they're just improvements upon the original cell phone. So that kind of leads us to the evolution of products. So the evolution of products starts with your very first thing is your invention, which is the left side of your graph right here. That's your invention. It starts with an invention. Then as your invention progresses and goes through different innovations, it goes through the evolution of the products of that particular item. So most technological development has been evolutionary, the result of a series of refinements to a basic invention. So again, those innovations to your invention, and it happens over a period of time or generations. So if anything happens over generations, you obviously know it's an evolution. So we're going to talk about one specific product and how it has gone through the evolution. It's a case study of the evolution of the automobile. So for your assignment, you're going to have to look at the evolution of a specific product starting tomorrow or later.